Thank you. Okay. All right, good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming out on kind of a rainy, icky evening. I would like to call the Town of Barnstable's Open Space Committee meeting for October 7th, 2024 to order.
Can you move your mic down a little bit, please?
Yeah, sure. Thank you. This meeting is of the Open Space Committee is being recorded and broadcast on the Town of Barnstable's Government Access Channel in accordance with Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 20. I must inquire if anyone else is recording this meeting, and if so, please make their presence known. Seeing none, we will move on. Approval of minutes for September 9th, 2024. Hi, Kris.
Second?
Look?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. So move to approve?
But I'll motion.
Second. Okay. Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, they're been approved. Okay. So moving on, we'll be discussing Fall Walking Weekend, which is coming up ever so soon, at the end of this week, and hopefully weather's going to be good. So I didn't know if everybody had a chance to get one of these brochures and flyers from,
I'll just give everybody
Yeah.
one so that
yeah.
you can be
Thank you, Love.
So,
Yeah, they are. They're really nice.
yeah. Does anybody have anything to say about the Fall Walking Weekend at this point?
Okay. I did want to let folks know, I think you saw email chains about promoting Walking Weekend.
Yes.
So it has now gone out to different media.
Good.
feeds.
Okay.
I don't know if Cape Cod Times has been
Yeah,
on
I
board.
was,
That sort of thing.
yeah, I was looking at it, and I couldn't find best bets for some reason, like it kept showing me back in 2020. But
They-
then I just pulled out something out of the paper, so it might be too late. I think it probably is too late, but for best bets. But I think, wasn't it on the calendar, though, for Cape Cod Times?
Cape Cod calendar, sir.
Jenna, were you able to get media folks from Barnstable to send stuff out to?
We put a press release out. Whether that made it onto the Cape Cod calendar specifically, I don't know, but it was sent out by the communications team, the town's communications team.
I thought it was much better advertised than last year. I saw it in a lot of places.
Oh, good. Okay, great.
Well, the Barnstable Weekly email, and I don't know, Next Door, I think, had it.
Okay,
and
good.
I saw it in several
Well, the
places.
fire department in Barnstable Village said they'd put it up on their billboard.
Do they have a web presence as well, or any email lists?
I didn't ask that. I didn't think of that.
Well, I've shared it to the geocachers,
Yeah,
their Facebook, and to the Mountain Bike Club, their
Okay.
Facebook. And it's on Barnstable Land Trust, kind of in the news inside of another event.
Yes.
Oh, and BCWC has it on their website,
Yeah.
on their email that
Oh,
they send
yeah,
out to
Barnstable Clean
people.
On water, yeah, good.
So if anybody has their own constituency, I know you have huge followers in the world of the internet that you can share that with.
I will make sure to do that.
Okay.
and then I sent one to Gordon Starr, who's my person.
He's my town councilor also.
Kris
Maybe
did a
he'll
very
come.
nice PR job for us in her newsletter for West Barnstable.
Oh, I saw
So
that.
thank you.
Yeah, it was in the,
Yeah, so in the future, it would be great if we could have one person who could coordinate the publicity so that we aren't just all kind of flying around trying to cover it, so if there's somebody who's interested in working on that, just having all the contacts together and, you can delegate them out, but, at least you have a kind of master sheet of who to get in touch with. I think that'd be good. Yeah, all right.
Maybe you and I can work on making that list together.
All right, yeah,
And then
no.
we'll be ready
I'll
for
be happy to.
the fall.
Okay, great. Spring.
It is fall.
Well, I know, but,
Oh, can I live in your world?
okay. All right, well, then we'll keep our fingers crossed on the weather, and
Good so
it looks
far.
good so far,
For now.
So next off is the most important item of the meeting, and that is the nomination of a new chair, since we are now chairless. So
Abandoned.
anyway, I would like to nominate Lev as the new.
Second.
Okay. Anybody opposed to that? Okay. Well, let's take a little vote then, make it formal. So, all in favor of having Lev Malkoff as our new chair for the Open Space Committee of the Town of Barnstable, please say aye. Aye. Unanimous.
Why is everyone looking at me?
Congratulations.
Should we have asked him to leave the room?
Do a secret
Yeah,
ballot.
yeah. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, we'd be like
I'll be
the
back.
No, but
committee.
yeah, he might dart off, you know.
Here's card.
Oh, dear. All right, well,
And I'll take your seat at the next meeting.
okay, that sounds
Yeah, he's gonna tell her. to
swell by
move
me.
right now.
Okay.
Farley?
Yes.
I would request that, I would make a motion that we send a letter to Ann Kennedy thanking her for her service
Oh,
as the
yes,
chair over a
absolutely.
number of years.
Yep.
And really
Very true.
doing,
Yep.
incredible work on
Yeah, we don't
all
want-
of the legal ends particularly.
For sure, yep.
Is she gonna continue any of that on the lead? or she's
No,
done
she's out, as far as I know, so,
that? I mean, who are her contacts mostly when she checks on CRs and stuff?
it's a good question, and maybe Kris, you know how
I
to,
believe it's mostly working with the legal department.
okay, legal, all right. Okay,
Yeah, I
good.
mean, Lev, for transition purposes, is she, will she be in touch with you, or do you need to reach out to her?
I can certainly ask her that
Yeah.
question about that transition, because I've only been here a year, so I'm
Yeah.
still learning.
Right.
And as far as, setting the agenda, things I always want to talk about, but there's all the other things we need to do. So I would kind of rely on Farley, Kris, and Sarah, Jenna. I think it might help me if, and maybe Farley would like to join me, to have a meeting with the town planner, just to sort of talk about. 'cause you're the
Absolutely.
planning staff and
Yeah.
how our
Yep.
roles fit together.
That's-
So maybe we could schedule something before the next meeting.
Okay.
Is there a
So-
permanent planner yet?
Yes.
Oh, there is?
Jim Kupfer, who was assistant director, was elevated,
Oh, yeah.
yes.
Okay. So as far as new business is concerned, then I think meeting with him and this group would be really a very good idea.
have 'em,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So,
Actually, I was going to mention it in my report, but
Okay.
since it's related, I did have a meeting with the town manager, just go through things with him periodically. And I did mention that the 2018 Open Space and Recreation Plan is due for an update. So he was going to address that. But, got to give Jim a chance to transition. He's on TV every night almost. I mean, he just wrapped up a 3:00 meeting with the ad hoc committee on housing. And he's also, what do I want to say, leading the charge or serving the local comprehensive planning committee. So he's giving presentations and doing some of the background work for engaging the committee and then bringing plans or to the residents for citizen input.
Okay.
So I'm just saying that Jim has been busy, but he is aware. That he is aware that the open space and recreation plan needs some work, so some updating. So I do suggest that you go online, and it's a hefty document. Many of you were working with us when we first, well, just, who else was here? Farley, Ann, Liz, were you
Lisa.
part of it?
Lisa,
Lisa. Oh, right.
yeah.
So,
When did they finally approve that?
it's a 2018.
Yeah, and it got approved in 2018?
Yes. I think so, but I went on the state's website, and I saw that it expires next August.
Wow.
So I'm saying, let's do our homework, look at it. All the stats are probably the same, like when Barnstable was founded, you know, what the natural history of the area is, but what has changed from 2018. And then we look at, I believe it's Section 9, which had all the action items. So what was on our wish list collectively that the town council approved? And what was done and what has yet to be done?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, did we gain more open space? You know, are there more, you know, how conservation restrictions are tallied, how Chapter 61A and B properties are addressed. So it's all, you know, parks, recreation, open space, municipal work. So, so yeah, for your own, do your homework so that we can be productive when Jim comes to speak to our group, which I believe is in the works.
Kris,
Okay.
do you know, can the Open Space Committee take some sort of official position with the LCP? What we think they should include in the LCP for open space?
I'm not sure. I'll
'Cause
look
they don't
into
seem
it.
to be paying much attention to open
They
space.
did have a section on natural resources.
I know, but it was pretty awful, frankly.
Well, we can ask Jim,
Okay.
you know. Or if you have that about that
I mean, I think they
sentiment.
might have some authority to say as a committee, you know, pay more attention to this rather than just as individuals speaking up.
I understand what you're saying. So this is aspirational. It's for, you know, the local comprehensive plan is how do we envision the development of our town in the next 10 years? So I had left one meeting and happened to walk into the LCPC meeting already in progress, and they were talking about village centers, and then Jim Kupfer was making the presentation and referred to activity centers. And he was talking about Independence Park and also the Cape Cod Community College area. So, and I ended up weighing in as public comment, saying, you know, this college area is of interest, and I had you in mind, Lev. I said, because there are separate projects happening, but they should be coordinated so that the value can be maximized. For example, Lev's interest in making that crosswalk, that would be a safe crossing on 132 for the red pathway. But there's also the rail trail coming, which is going to be a bridge. So maybe they can make a bridge, one bridge, that can accommodate walkers and bikers. Don't know, but they're expanding. The state has a plan to, and we saw the presentation, to expand the park and ride significantly. So there's students that also walk from the college to Burger King or to the bus. So is all of that happening safely? There's a YMCA, the YMCA, the Kimber Woods housing.
The conservatory.
Conservatory, yes. So, so those are all things that are, maybe the conservatory and Kimber Woods and YMCA, maybe that's static, maybe there's not any new plans there, but we know that the college recently took ownership of other state property from the Department of Transportation, and it was transferred to the college. So they're working on a strategic plan for the college now. So while they're doing that, and LCPC, that I just said maybe we should be paying attention to this. So actually, on November 12th, the Barnstable Village Association board members is joining the West Barnstable Civic Association Board of Directors at 7 o'clock at the West Barnstable Community Building to hear Jim talk about these two activity centers, the Independence Park and the college. It's an open meeting, you're welcome to come. But I'm just saying, those are the kinds of discussions they're having, that I think that this would be productive for us to weigh in on how it relates to our charge. Of course, as an individual, you can weigh in on it anyway, but when it comes to weighing on anything as a committee, we have to make sure that we point to our charge and make sure we stay within the four corners of that.
Right.
But I hear what you're saying, and I think it may be possible, but let's speak to Jim when he comes to speak with us.
Okay.
And I think focusing on the fact that that's our major cultural center for this town is that district.
This is the time to bring it to the table. For West Barnstable, on the Local Comprehensive Planning Committee, I think the only person from West Barnstable who is a member of that committee is Wendy Northcross, who happens to chair it.
Yeah.
And I do think that the only Barnstable Village person on that committee is Avery Revere.
Yeah.
So I expect the two of them will, of course, Wendy will be participating as chair. But I'm just saying that part of it is this part of town cares about that, and has observation and valuable input at this stage. But like our open space and recreation plan, you can write whatever you want on paper.
Right.
Did we pull the trigger on all these action items?
Yeah.
And if there's something that was left undone, what's the pathway to get it done? Or do we need to adjust the goals and action items?
Good. Thank you, Kris.
Yeah, I think that could and should be our winter job, or this committee's winter job. And I suggest that at least look at it so we can make these meetings pithy and productive.
Okay, thank you. Draft meeting dates for 2025. Got them all set up for us, which, so you can get your calendar queued up. And I just wanted to ask the community whether they had any preference, one way or the other, about remote meetings, if you wanted to have them be, some of them remote, none of them remote. Any inclination about that? No? Everybody happy with?
I find it more productive being in a group.
Okay, good, all right.
I agree.
Okay, no, just curious. Okay, great. So we'll continue our format of meeting in person. Okay, now, let's see. On old business update on Centerville Cranberry Bog, anything to report?
Nothing new.
Nothing new?
I
Okay.
asked, a family member lives near there and is a civil engineer and involved with the group, and there's nothing, no change.
No change, okay. So that's just,
It's not,
yeah,
they haven't got any changes they are working on to get a change.
okay. All right, there's been no legal activity that we know of, nothing as far as, no.
Yes. Possibilities.
All right, Cummaquid Woods. Marie?
Okay. First, I'll introduce myself. I don't think we did that at the beginning. I'm Marie Rizzo. I'm from Barnstable. And So my update regarding Cummaquid Woods is the last time we were still in the process of finalizing our status as a nonprofit corporation with the state, and I was waiting for paperwork from them. That has now been completed as of Friday. Finally got everything back from them and returned it all, and we're good to go.
Okay.
So we're moving forward.
All right. And so the parcels have been appraised,
The
correct?
parcels have been appraised.
And then-
I don't know more than that
Okay.
about the appraisals.
And I gather the fire district is not interested in,
They're meeting again, they always meet the day after this. They're meeting again
Right.
tomorrow. I believe I don't know, we'll see what happens.
all right, okay, yeah. In our CPC meeting, it was made mention that they were standing down from it, but.
Yeah, I don't know that anything is really transpired officially as far as notification or whatever.
All right, okay.
And while I have the microphone, Farley already knows, I have applied for the open position here on the committee, and they are going to interview me in 2 weeks, I think, the 22nd, whatever that is.
Be a good
So we'll see. They may just say no.
They might just say yes.
They might do that, too.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you applying for the position on this committee. It's great. I
It's
think it's
so important.
Isn't
It really
Yeah.
is.
So, I think you, anyway,
That's my vote.
yep, no, that's
So
good
while we're on
news.
the Cummaquid Woods,
Yeah.
I just, as I mentioned, wanted to mention, I did take a little walk in the vicinity last week along the trail, the existing trail along Route 6, so I could see some of the terrain in there, and it looked like it would be a very interesting area. I saw there was a brush cut trail that had been maybe cut 6 months ago. I guess that comes up from Oakmont down to
Yeah.
Route 6. So I guess my question is what are the possibilities of doing some type of site visit so we can become better familiar with this whole area? And how
private
would we
property,
do
isn't
that? Because it's pretty rugged in there.
To ask permission.
So
It is town-owned, so maybe we could get permission from the town to go through that way, although it...
So is the Cobb Trust land, is that considered private?
That's considered private.
What's that?
It's considered private.
Cobb land is?
Well, that's what I've been told.
Okay.
I-
In this town.
I don't know.
It's a trust. But probably just take a phone call to get permission.
Yeah, that would be,
Maybe I'm a little premature, but what do you imagine once this thing finally comes to fruition and it's acquired and everybody's happy? Do you think the neighbors would feel intrusion if they were, say, a parking lot for 2 cars or 3 cars and people could go for a walk in in the Cummaquid Woods and enjoy it?
I don't want to speak for the whole neighborhood, but I personally would be happy with that, and I know other people in the past, whether they should have been or not, used to walk through the woods. Yeah, I can envision that. I think that would be wonderful.
Okay. Well, we have a way to go before we're there.
Kris, do you know if on Mary Dunn Road at the terminus of the next extension of the rail trail, if there will be a parking lot there?
I don't know. But I bet you somebody knows.
I think I had read that there is, but I don't know.
Likely, but I won't say without knowing for sure.
Can I ask a question about the rail trail? This is kind of a little off topic, but there's a rail trail sign, at least there was the last time I drove there, at the end of Mary Dunn at 6A. Is that supposed to be where the rail trail's going?
No.
Bicycle sign or rail trail sign?
A rail trail sign. I think it's misplaced. Just thought I'd bring it up.
Well, there are the Bike Route 1 symbols that are,
No, this is a future site of,
oh,
I think somebody just put it in the wrong place.
No, it comes, from the maps I've seen, it's just south of Route 6.
No, this is at 6A.
No, but I believe that
Right,
that it
Yeah.
will be, it'll come out onto Mary Dunn Road
Right, at
just south
6.
of Route 6.
yeah, this is at the other end of Mary Dunn.
She thinks it's misplaced.
I think it's just a sign in the wrong place. That somebody might know, okay.
By the way, were you talking about the Prudential Committee or the Water Commissioners meeting? Because it's on the 16th.
Aren't they the same, one follows the other, don't
It
they?
looks like they do, but that's,
Yeah, they changed the time of one of them, let's see, Prudential Committee is tomorrow, and that's, oh, I understand why.
it's a holiday.
I think. Yeah, someone couldn't be there, then they could be there, you know what? I could ask my husband, he's outside. He would know, because he's going to go, but,
I'm just saying that I looked at the website, and it looks like the Barnstable Water Commissioners are meeting on October 16th, not tomorrow.
yes, but it's the Prudential Committee that decides.
Oh,
They are the ones who submitted the letter of intent to the CPC.
I see, okay.
They hold the purse
All right,
strings.
then that is tomorrow,
Yeah.
sorry. 4 PM?
Or whatever it said, I'm not sure. That's probably, yeah, usually I think it's at 4 PM.
Okay. Well, moving on, update on outstanding conservation restrictions. I have no updates. And I presume that going forward, the only way to get updates is through legal. Is that correct? Okay.
Yes. I did not attend your last meeting, but I did watch it
Okay.
live streamed. And I did hear Ann Kennedy say that she's willing to help, yeah, this transition with
Oh, good.
watching this.
Okay.
yes.
All right.
At one time, we worked hard on developing this tracking system that
Yes.
seems to have
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
not happened.
Yep. So, yeah, for the new chair, to get up to speed, I think it's important to be able to, know what channels to go through to get this information. Okay, all right. Pathways update, including walking library, NEMBA, path project, and geocaching. Take it.
Yeah, I don't really have too much
Much?
right now. At a future meeting, I will have some other information I'd like to.
Yeah, I think previously we had made a request for a GIS update with Gracie and Alicia, to get them together, for them to come into one of our meetings. So that'd be something to think about.
Bring back up, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So Tracy's not here. And now the update on the open space plan, which, do you have anything further? Do you want to discuss, Kris?
It's just that I think if the chair reaches out to Jim Kupfer to see if perhaps he can come to our next meeting, see if he's available, and launch a plan for addressing that. Does that make sense?
Jim did let me know that he plans to come to the November meeting.
Oh, great.
We should all have an assignment to read the 2018.
Yep.
Can you send us that excerpt of as part of the town's plan, the open space plan?
Sure, I can
Yeah, I think that would,
Just show them, if you don't mind, are you able to show them how to, you can access it online.
okay.
That's what I do.
The open space and recreation
Just gonna show
plan.
you how to,
Sure.
I mean, part of it, you gotta know how to drill down on it.
Oh, it's right there.
It is right there, yeah.
I've already read it.
Never mind.
I read it a long time
Betsy's.
ago, I don't remember.
Doug, she's showing
It
you.
weighs a lot
no, I'm
less
just
on the
writing it
computer than
down.
it does in real life.
And there's the rail trail, the link to the rail trail.
Right.
Did I miss it?
No.
Can't see from here.
Plans and projects going.
Okay, so
On the bottom, open space and open.
Yeah, 2018.
I'll also email a link around, just in case.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I think we could start with a new picture.
We had no input on the pictures, but the,
Those just look like a flooded parking lot. I mean,
Sandy neck after a big rain.
exactly.
you can update it and put a couple of windmills up there.
Did you see the lights last night at St.?
I didn't.
I mean, they're amazing photographs that have come
Oh,
from
yeah,
that.
I should have been
What,
up there.
the
For the Aurora Borealis.
Yeah.
And I knew it was going to happen, and I just set my alarm
We didn't-
back up again.
I could have walked to the end of the street.
You mean the one that was a few weeks ago?
No, last night.
Last night?
Last night. Yeah.
Back to Lev.
Do you have a picture?
Oh, yeah.
So I just did want, regarding the pathways update, I meant to mention, we did have a little site visit Friday. Doug came out, Tracy came out. We didn't have a quorum, we were just out looking at the trails. And here's the happy walkers.
Yeah.
At the rock that we call it's called the Snowman, so it's a split rock. The trail goes between this rock formation, very interesting photogenic
Tracy's
rock,
smiling.
not so much the guy in the front, but, there are these kiosks, people may have seen them around town in various stages of disrepair, unfortunately. This one had been vandalized. And then a little bit further down, there's a old campsite that is along one of the trails. So this trail we walked on was proposed and approved by the Conservation Department as an alternative to one of the really steep, dangerous trails that is in the old jail lane system. So this is a trail that's more gentle with switchbacks and going up and around the hills. But there's this old campsite next to the railroad tracks that the New England Mountain Bike Club was building the trail and offered to clean up this site and was told not to clean up the site because there's a procedure and a process. DPW will come and do it. Nothing has happened. This is from the year 2020 I'm talking about. And then I reported it again to Grace to say, hey, this is still here, and now kids are starting to throw the trash down the hill towards the railroad tracks. But they don't seem to be able to. I think they put in work orders, but then the work orders just don't get done, so unfortunately. And, there's other sites like this in town that some of you may even be aware of. Unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be a way to actually get them cleaned up, even with volunteers, since it's considered against the rules. So, anyways, that's my report. And I do want to invite the other committee members to consider hosting a guided walk in their own favorite area. Just, again, we don't want to end up with a quorum, so it's, the first 4 people, one of them being the guide included, can, go out and see what's out there and let us know what they found. I think it'll be very helpful for all of us to learn more about what we have going on out in our open spaces.
Are you planning to do this like monthly or?
I think it could be whatever fits people's schedule. So
Okay.
I guess my only question is, what's the best days for the most availability of people? Because I could see there'd be one every week and then maybe we don't do it, or maybe it depends on the weather. Like if Doug wants to post one somewhere, he could send out the group email enough days in advance so people can check their schedule and check the weather.
So it's going to be kind of,
So I think it could be,
Unscheduled.
especially
Yeah.
now when it's so beautiful to be out and the weather's just amazing, except for today, that I could see one's being scheduled, weekly or bi-weekly, and then
Great.
if people just don't want to go, then you go do something else.
all right.
So given that.
So should we, if we choose to lead a walk, we'll get in touch with you and
You
you
don't have to
can.
get in touch with me, because
Oh,
it's not
okay.
really business.
Okay.
It's more of a, just go out.
Without
So
an
what
email.
I suggest is, get the group email list, and, you know,
Yeah.
or Jenna could even send it out, if you need help with that, right? Right. Just to say, respond to me, you know, so you don't have to
Yeah.
reply all to everybody so they're getting all these messages, but you could send out the invitation and
And then
say,
just-
I'm gonna go out and walk 10 AM on this day, or whatever time, and then the first 3 people to reply to you, and then you just let them know, yes,
Good.
you're
Yeah.
confirmed,
Okay.
you're confirmed.
That sounds great.
And then if the
Okay.
5th person says, you know, I'm sorry, we're all full, I'll let you know if someone drops out. And just
Yeah.
try to make it as simple as we can.
Yeah.
Excellent.
But, so my question is, I just picked Friday at 10. I don't know what,
Yeah.
is there a time of day that's,
Fridays aren't good for me.
is
but-
there days that are better?
Yeah, other days.
There you go. So,
I have a question. When you said that they didn't accept volunteers from NEMBA, are they meaning the Conservation Department?
it was originally conservation in the email exchanges that I had to say, hold off, don't clean it up. And then later, you know, Grace also mentioned that, you know, they would do it. But that was since, I don't know, May, the latest go-around I had with that, so,
May 2024?
of this year, yeah.
And when you said the work orders were expected to go out and be generated
Well,
from what?
Grace said that she put in work orders
From Grace.
way back in the spring. Work never got done, so I don't know. I assume she put in the work order,
Yeah.
and then the work order just, whatever it does when work doesn't get done.
I know that DPW and other departments for the town are understaffed. They haven't been able to fill the positions that they have.
Well, I mean, now we still have piles, and there could be sharp things, and
Understood.
kids could get into it, and telling the volunteers that their help is not
Yeah, right, that's
Welcome.
crazy.
welcome is, I think the town's losing
Yeah.
for any
I made
number of
note of that,
reasons.
thank you.
I'd just like to mention also, in regards to walks, 2 weeks ago, the Master Gardeners did a walk of the Treasure Trail at my instigation, and Russell Norton, who is the Cape Cod Extension Service educator, led 35 people on an invasive species walk on the Treasure Trail, and it was a real eye-opener for people, the extent of invasive species. And as you travel south of the railroad tracks, when that area was purchased, under the plan, the town was supposed to maintain that as an open field, and it's now a forest now.
Yeah.
And it's a habitat that we're losing. It's that open field transitional forest.
Corkage property?
Yes.
On the other side. No, Corkages is on the other,
Yeah,
it was the
that's
other side.
Other side, yep,
The other side.
right.
No, the Corkage property and then part of what was the Swift property is where all the invasive species are. There was some, when you cross that stone wall into that next property, that was also open field, which is now completely grown up. And so that's something in the future, we may want to look at, seeing if we could look at maybe encouraging the town to apply for grants to restore ecological restoration of some of these properties that we're losing.
Yes.
Would that, I mean, conservation, wouldn't they take care of something like that?
The difficulty is, as you pass along that trail, you go from one jurisdiction to another, and it's, I think it's unfortunate because, I mean, I'm involved in the process, and I don't know who's in charge of a particular segment of that trail. It's multiple different entities because of how the properties were purchased, whether it was land bank funds, whether it was, you know, however it was purchased, there isn't a consistent.
In the CR for it. And,
Yeah,
'cause
exactly.
They're supposed to monitor it.
Well, it was actually the person who sort of was in charge of it back in 2011, I believe, was the one who told me that that was part of the agreement, was that property would be maintained as an
Oh,
open
really?
field.
Okay. So if there's no management plan for it, obviously, but.
That could be something we could look
Yeah.
at for the open space
Yeah.
plan,
Yeah.
is looking at some of these degraded environments
Yep.
that could be restored. And there's tremendous resources available for ecological restoration.
Right.
That can even fall under the Infrastructure Act.
That's excellent. Yeah, I think that should be a good focus. Yeah. Very good. Yeah, I'm sure there's plenty of money, grant money available for, developing a management plan and then B, executing it. So that would be, I mean, you just have to dig around.
Sand plains, grasses. And
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There's,
Yeah.
there's money for
that-
something like that, because that's very endangered.
Okay. All right, well, it's been really interesting. Thank you. I just have a quick note from the CPC that an appraisal has been ordered for 10.4 acres located at 304 Putnam Ave, Barnstable. Putnam.
Oh, the CR.
Yeah. So they're looking to, the town and BLT are looking to purchase it. The town interested in expanding the cemetery, apparently.
Oh,
Yeah. So,
Mosswood or something?
yeah.
yeah.
so stand by on that.
They're dying to get in.
All right, anything more from Kris? We have-
Yes, actually, when I
Okay.
spoke with the town manager, I have been pesky in asking, is there an official procedure for responding to Chapter 61 A and B properties? Should there be a property transfer from the current tax relief status to private ownership? And the town, I believe, has 30 days to respond. And the town manager told me that he's asked the legal department to work on the procedure. And some of this is in response to the, what do I want to say?
Centerville Cranberry Bog.
Yeah,
Unsure footing on the way that procedure happened with the Centerville
all
Bar.
right. Okay.
So, yeah, so he's aware that it's
So
of interest to us.
that's
and that
something that's in the works, and maybe we'll hear,
The legal department.
yeah, from the legal.
They've had a busy spell between the wind farm issues and freedom of information requests that are very time-consuming. That has happened periodically. So I'm patient. I know it's not a front-burner issue, but I keep
Okay.
bringing it up.
Very good.
And the town manager's responded, He's
Good.
asked the staff, it's just,
Okay.
will take some time.
Standing by, as always.
Yeah, and that would, and assuming that there will be a procedure
Yep.
that the legal department is comfortable with, we can add that to the new open space and recreation plan now that we have this resolved. This wasn't the case. And Jenna, unless I'm mistaken, if you go to the open space and recreation plan, at the end of it, it has a list of appendices that have no links, or at least I didn't find it. Go zip right to the end yet. Appendices. There. So, can you click on those and find anything? That's what I mean. I think that they need to be populated. But
Yeah,
for our
For
home.
us.
right.
Yeah. Do we have anything else that we need to discuss, or?
Do you have anything from the CPC?
I just mentioned that.
Oh, I thought that was, okay,
No.
I'm sorry.
So, hang on. Well, 3 cheers to Lev.
Yeah,
Yeah, starting out on a new career. Bravo. Bravo.
Quit my day job.
All right. Motion to adjourn then, anyone?
So moved.
So moved. Second.
Second. All in favor? Aye.